As a signed artist, how do I keep up with social media noise, where I feel like I have to maintain presence despite being overwhelmed by it all?
Well, I mean, that goes back, excuse me, to the things that, you know, the lovely words you said to me when you started, which is, as someone who's listened for 5 or 6 years, this is not gonna seem foreign to you. What I'm about to say is, well, if it feels overwhelming or guilty, like, you don't have to. You know, like, the reality of all of this is, if you can't do something that genuinely makes you happy, it's not gonna work out anyway. If you're doing it because you know you should be doing it, because you're trying to build a career, but it's not enjoyable, that is not a sustainable model. Ironically, my piece of advice is to maybe take a break, which seems like a complete curveball for me, but to me the concern is, if you're doing it for the money, if you're doing it because you're like, well, if I'm not top of mind, someone's gonna come, and right? That comes from a place of fear. It comes from a place of defense. You need to find joy in it, right? And so one of the things I think a lot about is, people are always trying to make content that they think will work versus making content that they want to make. It especially concerns me with people that, like, you know what I get a lot of questions about is people that grew because they're attractive and they no longer want to post naked pictures. Not fully naked OnlyFans, I mean just like guys with abs or girls that are wearing barely any clothes, like, you get, you like that one?
Yeah, it's gonna add on to like my next question.
Okay, good. So you know, it's a very common question, which is like, I'm now 27, I built 4 million followers because of who I was as a 22-year-old. I don't want to do that anymore, what do I do? And the answer is always like, stop doing it. Like, you know, you're asking a very similar question with a slightly different tweak, which is, it's not gonna work if you don't like it anyway. So maybe there's other things you could be posting, which is a thing that everyone should be thinking about, which is, like, when I didn't want, like, I built my career in 2006 on YouTube making wine videos, and then I didn't want to, and everyone said I was crazy. And when I stopped making wine videos and started making business videos, everybody in the wine business told me that I was making the biggest mistake of my career. Because that's all I was known for. I just was building a wine business. I was one of the most followed and like understood people in that era. And people are like, what are you doing? And my comments were like, why are you talking about business? Just stick to wine. Like, what are you, like, but it didn't even cross my, like, I started over, my engagement, my view, all started over. But I knew it wasn't gonna work anyway. You need to find something you want to do. Like, you need to post things you want to talk about. You know, otherwise you can't be sustainable. So what do I think? I think you have to make this work for your soul. Because if you don't, it's not gonna work out anyway. My answer to this question are two extremely opposites. My answer is, everybody at this table should be posting as many times as humanly possible on every platform. Comma, and I just told you that maybe you shouldn't post for 3 months. You have to be self-aware of what you're about. To maximize commercial success, you need to post on everything from LinkedIn to TikTok to Snapchat to Facebook, stories, long form, short form, audio, written, all of it. The amount of humans that can achieve that are almost none. It's hard. You could though, but let me give you another example. There's a lot of people at this table and around the world that make a lot of money doing this and should spend it by hiring 4 people so they can make more of it. That's what I did. Instead of keeping the money and buying a fucking Bugatti, I hired people and made it bigger. So like, everyone has to decide what they're doing here. That's what you have to do.
Gary Vee gave advice on building a sustainable personal brand, emphasizing the importance of finding joy in content creation and posting on different platforms. If you're doing it out of fear or guilt, it's not sustainable. He advised Daniel to post things he wanted to talk about, not just what he thinks will work for metrics. He stressed the importance of finding a balance between commercial success and personal happiness. It's important to invest in hiring people to help with personal branding if it's the wise choice financially, and appreciating the importance of finding joy in content creation and posting on various platforms, taking breaks when necessary to avoid burnout and maintain mental and emotional well-being. He advised Daniel to listen to his body and mind and take a break if needed, emphasizing that taking care of oneself is crucial for building a sustainable personal brand.